Okay, sports fans, we got Ohio State and Nebraska in the second round. And there's the key matchups here. We got Bobby Hoying, Orlando Pace, Terry Glenn, Eddie George, Sean Springs, all very talented players. Terrell Farley, Aaron Graham, Aaron Taylor, Jared Tomich, Chris Dishman. All right. Ohio State has won the toss and will defer to the second half. And we're going to kick off with the wind. Chris Brown in to kick, Demetrius Stanley and Peppy Pearson back to receive. Stanley starts at Ohio State's 8-yard line, gets only 12 yards on the return. Nice kick coverage by the Huskers. Eddie George and Nicky Suloa is the fullback. George makes the grab at the 25 and out of bounds after 7 yards. Heisman Trophy winner Eddie George, who robbed Tommy Frazier of that honor. 2nd and 3 coming up. Nebraska playing for the run. Hoying makes a move back into the pocket, looking for Eddie George on a medium short pass. Hoying is hit from behind and lets it go. That pass is incomplete. Nice hit by Grant Wistrom to throw that off. 3rd and 3. Bump and run coverage for the Huskers. They'll put pressure on Hoying. The give is to Peppy Pearson. Peter makes the play after a gain of 5 yards. First down, Ohio State. George is the running back. Glenn, Stanley, and Carter are the receivers. Hauser is the tight end. 1st and 10 from their own 32. Nebraska looks like they might be blitzing. Here comes Doug Coleman. The give is to Eddie George in play action. George had no chance to get away from Jason Peter. That's a loss of 1. Nice play by the Black Shirts. It's 2nd down, 11 yards to go. George is the lone setback. Pocket collapses on Hoying. Looks for a secondary receiver. Hoying throws to Terry Glenn in a post. Pattern the pass is deflected and picked up by Michael Booker. Booker has open field in front of him. He's over midfield, the 40, the 30, past the 20, before he's tripped up at the Ohio State 13. A return of 39 yards by Michael Booker. I believe he was drafted by the Tennessee Oilers at the time, or Tennessee Titans. I don't know when they changed their name, but we're going to start off with the option. 1st and 10 from the Ohio State 13. They're keen on Green. Green defense is all over. I'm on Green. Frazier keeps the ball. Flag on the play. Kevin Johnson stops the outside run after 6 yards. And that's going to be holding on Nebraska, who did not get a holding call all year in 1995. Makes it 1st and 20. That sucks. Inside run by Amon Green. Ohio State calling for a full blitz. Hand off to Green. Inside run for just 3 yards. Colorado Northwestern underway. No score. Second down and 17. Man-to-man coverage for Ohio State. Mark Willis is blitzing. Double coverage on Cluster Johnson. Frazier keeps the ball on the option play. An outside run of 8 yards, 3rd and long. Let's call it 9. Nice run by Tommy Frazier to give him a chance on 3rd down. And I think we're going to bring in another receiver. Johnson and Gilman are being double teamed. Mike Vrabel comes in, charging through the line, puts pressure on Frazier. He avoids the sack and looks for another receiver. Everyone is well covered. And off he goes and gains 1 yard, 4th and 8, and Nebraska will kick a field goal after the pick it up at an interception. Looks like he should make this unless it's blocked. And Nebraska takes an early lead with 10:44 to go in the first quarter. 3-0. Sean Springs and Pepe Pearson back to receive. Springs is a dangerous kick returner. Springs catches it at the goal line. Forced out of bounds after just 15 yards. Nice kick coverage by the Cornhuskers. First and 10 from their own 15. Farley's coming in on the blitz. It's a run by Eddie George. Gets around the edge. George gets just 4 yards on 2nd and 6. Notre Dame has taken an early lead over Florida 3-0 in the Elite Eight of 1995 tournament. 2nd and 6 from Ohio State's own 19-yard line. Bump and run coverage. The give is to Jermon Jackson. A gain of 4 yards on the play. 3rd and 2. Notre Dame is now up 10-0 after an interception return. Hand off to Eddie George. George struggles for a small gain of 2 yards, but it's enough for the first down. Northwestern scored on a Darnell Autry touchdown run, leading Colorado 7-0. George is the halfback. Sulualua is the blocking back. Gain of 5 yards, hand up to Eddie George for a 5-yard gain. 2nd down and 5 from the Ohio State 30. There was confusion in the play, and Hoying calls a timeout. I think Hoying went on to play for the Eagles briefly in the NFL. 2nd and 5 from the 30. Pepe Pearson is the running back. Pearson heads to the outside and is hauled down behind from Scott Saltzman for a loss of a yard. 3rd and 6 for Ohio State at their own 29-yard line. Terrell Farley's on a blitz. Hoying drops straight back. Medium pass to Ricky Dudley. Incomplete. 4th and 6 coming up. Brent Bartholomew back to kick. Mike Fulman, the dangerous Mike Fulman, to return the punt. And Bartholomew didn't catch it cleanly, and it was only a 32-yard punt, so decent field possession for the Cornhuskers at the 39-yard line. Ohio State sitting in the standard zone defense. Fake handoff to Makovicka. Frazier still has the ball, is going to throw. Caught in the crowd by Holbein for a gain of 6 yards. Northwestern still leading Colorado 7-0. So 2nd and 4. Belisari on a blitz. Makovicka on the run. Is hit in the backfield, but he's still on his feet. Heads towards the sideline, hit again, still going, against 10 yards before even being caught at the Ohio State 45-yard line. I'll tell you what, Nebraska fullbacks are tough cookies. All-purpose defense for Ohio State. They're keen on green. Pass to Mark Gillen, tight end. Brings it at the 41. Anthony Gwynn comes across to haul him down at the 32. Gilman gets 13 yards and a fresh set of downs at the 32-yard line of Ohio State. Double coverage on Cluster Johnson. Frazier has the football on the option. Fakes the pitch, keeps the football. Flag on the play. Cuts upfield. Nice run. 6 yards. Another holding polling for Nebraska. Penalties accepted. That could be a drive-killing play. First down and 20 at the 42 now. Linebacker is keen on green for a possible pass. It's not going to be a pass. It's a handoff to Joe Makovic. Another flag on the play. He's in the secondary, caught from behind from Belisari for 15 yards. Holding on the defense. Holding on Ohio State. Nebraska first down. That was a 25-yard play, basically, with the penalty and the run at the Ohio State 17-yard line. Going to do an Amon Green inside run. They're watching Makovic. Hand off to Green, and he only gets 3 yards. It's second down and 7. Bump and run coverage for Ohio State. They'll try to put pressure on the quarterback. Single coverage on everyone but Gilman. Frazier has his choice on the option and pitches to Green. Green heads to the outside and picks up 6 yards. An important 3rd and 1. Notre Dame now leading Florida 10-0. 3rd down and 1 yard to go. Double coverage on Johnson. The snap to Frazier. Rolls out left, is going to run. He isn't brought down till he gains 7 yards. Nice run by Tommy Frazier. He's moving very slowly. He jumps off and weighs off any help. All right. 1st and goal. We're going to bring in Sheldon Jackson. Double tight, 2 tight end set. Short yardage. So run by Makovic. Stopped at the line. Second effort yields nothing. 2nd and goal. Jackson scores for Florida, making it 10-7. Graham snaps the ball. The call's from on Green. Green finds a hole. Touchdown, Nebraska. Four carries for 13 yards. They're tough yards, but Nebraska now leads 9-0. Chris Brown will be in to kick the extra point. And it's good. Nebraska leads 10-0 with 2:38 to go in the first quarter. Terry Glenn and Pepe Pearson back to receive. Grabs it on the bounce at the 1. Glenn has some speed, but he's quickly brought down at the 23-yard line. 1st and 10 at the 23. Standard man-to-man coverage by the Huskers. Luther Harden coming in on a blitz. Hoy is taking a usual drop. He's in trouble. Sacked by Eric Warfield on a safety blitz, 6-yard loss. Farley's coming in on a blitz. Hoying taking his usual drop. Flare pass near the sidelines to Sualua. Grabbed at the 19. Knocked out of bounds after a nice gain of 10 yards. That makes it 3rd down and 6 yards to go. Porter snaps the ball. Back to Hoying. Pass to Glenn. Pulled down by Glenn at the 35. That's a 1st down, it looks like. Yep, 8 yards. Hauled down by Eric Stokes. And they will move the chains. Jermon Jackson and Sualua, the blocking back. Demetrius Stanley is the intended receiver on a medium short pass. Batted down by Doug Coleman. 2nd down and 10. Hoying sets up in the pocket, looking in the secondary for Terry Glenn. Pulled down by Glenn at midfield. The completion for 19 yards. Nice catch and run by Terry Glenn. Keeps the ball in the option. Hoying, the ball is stripped by Luther Hardman at the 44 before Hoying can get outside. Grant Wistrom has it for Nebraska. Open field by Wistrom, but he's brought down at the Ohio State 45 after a gain of 11 yards. Hoyer will get credited for 2 yards rushing, but another costly turnover by Ohio State. Nebraska dominating early on in the game. Two tight end set. Green is the running back. Play fake to Green. Sheldon Jackson is running a shallow crossing pattern. Pulled on by Jackson at the 37. Tackled at the 28 after 17 yards. Nice play action fake by Tommy Frazier and the completion just to keep them off balance. And we're going to bring in Amon Green or Lawrence Phillips on the play. First and 10 at the Ohio State 28. Phillips heads outside for 8 yards. Nice run on 1st down. 2nd and 2. All-purpose defense for Ohio State. Lawrence Phillips is the ball carrier. Phillips goes off tackle for 7 yards. Back-to-back nice runs by Lawrence Phillips. Northwestern now leading 14-0. Notre Dame over Florida 10-7. Run blitz by Ohio State. Screen pass to Makovica. Makovica brings it in at the 17. Knocked out of bounds after a gain of 6 yards. And Florida has just scored to take the lead over Notre Dame, 14-10. Chris Doreen from Werfel. 2nd down and 4. Linebackers shooting the gap. Phillips gets the call. Nice gain of 6 yards. Another 1st down onto the 1-yard line. Nearly scored on that play. Keon Frazier. Frazier is the ball carrier. Or Phillips is the ball carrier, and he scores. Touchdown, Nebraska. 17. We're about ready to be 17-0 here, folks. And he missed it. I jinxed it. It's only 16-0. Demetrius Stanley back to receive the kick along with Pepe Pearson. Taking it by Stanley at the 3. Stanley has some speed, but he's brought down at the 20. Another nice kick coverage for Nebraska. Now, Bobby Hoying is the quarterback. Eddie George is the halfback. Nikki Sualua is the blocking back. And Terry Glenn and Demetrius Standing are the receivers. Tight end Ricky Dudley is also in the play. So we're going to do bump and run. Give his to Eddie George. We get strong. Hold on. Beautiful play action by Hoying. Goes deep looking for Terry Glenn. Great concentration on Glenn to get on his pass. He's got it at Nebraska 43. He breaks free for 50 yards before he's brought down by Eric Stokes at the Nebraska 30. Finally, Ohio State gets a good play. Nice catch and run by Terry Glenn. 1st and 10 at the Nebraska 30-yard line. George and Sualua are the backs. Complete to Sualua at the 27. Hauled down by Leslie Dennis at the 22 and a pickup of 8 yards. 2nd and 2 from the Nebraska 22. Hand off to Eddie George. George struggles for a yard. 3rd and 1. It's a big play on 3rd and 1. Linebackers are shooting the gap on a run blitz. Jamon Jackson on the run. He follows the center for 4 yards. Way to move the chains, and now 1st and 10 at the Nebraska 17. Man-to-man defense for Nebraska. Doug Coleman is blitzing. It's a run by Eddie George. Picks his way for 4 yards on the play. 2nd down and 6. Northwestern now leading 14-3 over Colorado. Eddie George is the running back. Terry Glenn and Buster Tillman and D. Miller are the receivers. Play action. Hoying looking to throw. Terry Glenn is the intended receiver. Beautiful catch by Glenn at the 5. Farley closes quickly to hold Glenn to 8 yards. And they'll have a 1st down at the 5-yard line. Cornhuskers have 8 men in the box. Here's the option. Hoying keeps a nice lateral movement by Christian Peter to hold Hoying to 1 yard on the outside run. 2nd down. George is the I-back. Play action pass. Dudley is the intended receiver. Hoying has to throw that one away. It's 3rd and goal from the Nebraska 4. Pass to Terry Glenn. Caught in the crowd by Glenn. Touchdown. And Ohio State is on the board. All right, we're back in action here. In for the extra point. Josh Jackson makes it 16-7. Clinton Childs and Amon Green back to receive the kick. Taken by Green at the 6. Green only given 13 yards on the return. Nice. Kick coverage. Option play. Frazier keeps the ball. Frazier headed to the outside, manages to turn the corner. He's over to his own 20. Stiff arm a defender at his own 30. Chased down at the 40. Picks up 21 yards for Tommy Frazier. 8 men in the box. Key on Lawrence Phillips. Phillips has the ball. Gets nothing on the play. 2nd down and 10. 7:45 to go in the first half. Double coverage on Johnson. Frazier tosses the ball to Phillips on the option. Heads out of bounds at the 48. Credit him with 8 yards, 3rd down and 2. Bump and run. Double coverage on Johnson. Makovica with the carry. Gets 7 yards. They needed that, folks. They needed that. 1st and 10 at the Ohio State 45-yard line. Nebraska moving the ball again. Play action to Reggie Ball. Great fake by Frazier. Medium pass to Ball. Ball was thrown right at Anthony Quinn, and he tipped it away. Flag on the play. Unnecessary roughness against the offense. What? I'm on Green coming in. And a Wildcat. Third down and 27. Pass to John Vedral, grabbed at the 48, crosses midfield, cuts to at the 40, 30. Fully knocked out of bounds by Damon Moore at the Ohio State 26, a gain of 36 by John Vedral. I believe he's the uncle of Noah Vedral, now the quarterback for Rutgers. First and 10 from the Ohio State 26. Green is being keyed for the run. Frazier drops back to pass. Looks away from Green because of good coverage. Medium pass to Clester Johnson. Johnson is now after catching the pass and can't hold on to it for the completion. 2nd and 10. Florida 14-10. 5 minutes to go in the second quarter against Notre Dame. Ohio State is looking for the pass. Frazier gets the snap back into the pocket. It's a draw play to Amon Green. Green puts a nice fake on the first defender. Now he's in the clear. Finally tackled at the 13 by Kevin Johnson. That's a nice gain of 13 yards. First down, Nebraska at the Ohio State 13-yard line. Flag on the play. Offsides. Ohio State. Get a free down there. It's whistled dead. Encroachment. Run blitz by Ohio State. It's a handoff to Brian Schuster. Schuster finds the end zone. Touchdown, Nebraska. 8-yard run for Brian Schuster. I don't think they expected that. Chris Brown now will be into the game to attempt the extra point. And it's good, 23-7 in the first half over Ohio State. Demetrius Stanley and Pepe Pearson back to receive the kick. Stanley takes it at the Ohio State 6, manages only 12 yards on the return. Again, a great kick coverage today by both of these teams. All right, what do we got here? Hoying is forced from the pocket by Christian Peter, forced to run. Hoying gets around the edge and is headed upfield. But he's finally pushed out of bounds by Jay Foreman at the 37, a gain of 19. Jay Foreman is the son of NFL great Chuck Foreman. George and Sulua in the backfield. Hand off to George. George breaks into the outside. He's in the clear with it. Till Eric Stokes pushes him out of bounds at the 48. Give George credit for 11 yards and another set of downs. Ohio State is moving the ball. Under 4 minutes to go in the first half. Hoying throws to Stanley on a post pattern, hauled in by Stanley at the Nebraska 34-yard line. Stanley has room to run. He isn't brought down until he gains 28 yards all the way down to the Nebraska 24-yard line, I believe. Looks like it. 3:28 to go. Florida leading 14-10 still over Notre Dame. Ike Hilliard's over 100 yards receiving for the day. 1st and 10 for Ohio State at the Nebraska 24-yard line. Man-to-man coverage by Nebraska. Phil Ellis is blitzing. Hoying drops back to pass. Oh, it's a draw play for Eddie George. George is stopped at the line, but a second effort gets him a yard. 2nd down and 9 yards to go. Hoying back to pass. Throws a medium pass to Terry Glenn. It's deflected and falls incomplete. They'll need 9 yards on 3rd down. Third and long from the Nebraska 23. Medium sideline pattern to Ricky Dudley. Dudley makes the catch at the 15-yard line. Farley holds him to 8. It's 4th and 1. Will Ohio State go for it, trailing by 16 in the first half? Florida now leads 21-10. Kareem, 1-yard pass from Denny Werfel. Yeah, it looks like they're going to go for it, folks. Hoying is forced from the pocket by Grant Wistrom. Buys some time. Goes to secondary receiver. George is the intended receiver on short out pattern. Brings it in at the 10. That's enough for the first down. And it's a touchdown by Eddie George. Ohio State fooled Nebraska. Bobby Hoying, nice numbers, 11 for 17 for 165 yards on the day, and they're back in this game. Josh Jackson with the extra point, and it's good. It's 23-14. Clinton Childs and Benning will be back to receive the kick. Benning takes it at the 4. It's straight up the middle. It gets 18 yards to the 22. All right. Let's put in Jeff. No, he needs a rest. Green gets the pitch on an option. Heads upfield. Brought down by Kevin Johnson after a gain of 9 yards to the 31 of Ohio State. Timeout, Nebraska. Play action to Amon Green. Vrabel puts pressure on Frazier. He's supposed to go into a receiver. No time for that either. Now he has to run. Not much there for Frazier. The ball is spotted at the 33. Get 2 yards, but it's a first down. 1:26 to go. Frazier rolls out. It's going to pass. Frazier looks away from Holbein because of good coverage. Looking downfield to Lester Johnson. Incomplete. Northwestern leads Colorado 14-3. 2nd and 10, 1:05 to go. Blanketed the field with an extra DB. Snap to Graham. Frazier back to pass. Pass is thrown behind Amon Green. It's incomplete. 3rd and 10. Draw play to Amon Green. Finds some daylight and makes a nice run for 6 yards. 4th and 4. Ohio State calls their second timeout, and Nebraska will have to punt. Jesse Cush into punt. Demetrius Stanley back to receive. Punting from the 39, gets the kick away, no problem. High punt. Fielded at the 16-yard line by Stanley. Heads out of bounds after 6 yards, 45 yards on the punt. Ohio State now has a chance to get back in the game even more. First and 10 from their own 22. Eddie George on the run. Brought down by Ryan Terwilliger at the 28, gaining 6 yards. Now 2nd and 4, and that's the end of the first half with Nebraska leading 23-14. Florida now 28-10 over Notre Dame. Hilliard, a 10-yard pass from Danny Werfel. Excuse me. Let's go into the first half statistics. Hoying having a nice game, 11 for 17, 165. 2 touchdowns and 1 interception. Eddie George, 9 for 33. Hoying, 4 for 16. Jackson, 2 for 8. Pearson, 2 for 4. And Terry Glenn has a big day, 5 for 89 receiving and a touchdown. Amon Green, 8 for 39. Phillips, 6 for 30. Frazier, 5 for 39. Makovic, 4 for 32. Defensively, Warfield has the only sack for the Huskers. Special teams. .226 yards by Ohio State. Nebraska has also 226 yards. So let's get to it. They're going to kick off to Sean Springs, dangerous kick returner, and Pepe Pearson. Springs takes it to the 12. Just a return of 11 yards. John Hess is blitzing. Hoying is taking his usual drop. Hoying is looking for Terry Glenn. He's still looking under pressure. He finally lets it go to Glenn downfield. Rucker gets a hand up and to break up the play. Mike Rucker, who had a long career with the Carolina Panthers later on in his life, and he was a very good player. Eddie George and Sualua in the backfield. Buster Tillman and Carter, the receivers. Ricky Dudley is a tight end. And Hoying is hurried, takes off running, heads to the outside and manages to turn the corner, giving a first down, 11-yard run by Bobby Hoying. First and 10 from their 34. Draw play to Eddie George. And Jared Tomich nails him for a loss of a yard. 2nd down and 10. Nebraska's in his zone. Handoff to Eddie George again. George manages to turn the corner. Speedy defense holds him just to 3 yards. It's 3rd down and 8. Eddie George is the lone setback. Terry Glenn and Demetrius Stanley and D. Miller are the wide receivers. Bob Hauser's the tight end. 3rd and 8. This is going to be a pass. No, it isn't. Draw to Eddie George. Oh, no. George is knocked off balance, but stays on his feet. He makes a nice run of 14 yards. Credit the tackle to Terrell Farley. Nice run by Eddie George to keep the drive moving, and they're at midfield and trying to get back in this game, make it closer. Down by 9. 12:31 to go in the 3rd quarter. Eddie George is the intended receiver on a medium short pass. George has the ball at the Nebraska 43, immediately tackled after a gain of 7. Nice gain on 1st down. Ray Caruth, 14-yard pass from Hessler for a touchdown. 2-point conversion, no good. 14-9 in the 3rd quarter. Dudley is running a medium crossing route. Mike Minter has the interception. He comes down with it at the 34, quickly hemmed up after 5 yards. Mike Minter, who also had a long career with the Carolina Panthers, comes up with the interception. Another turnover by the Ohio State Buckeyes. Bedrell is being double covered. Quarterback option. Frazier keeps the football. There's no room outside. Frazier reverses direction. He's found an opening. They can't bring him down until he's gained 10 yards and a 1st down. Nice run by Tommy Frazier. He was a dangerous runner back in the day. Nebraska at midfield. Snap to Frazier, gives it to Amon Green. Green is hit hard, but breaks the tackle in the next hit. Knocks the ball free, but Nebraska retains possession as the ball goes out of bounds. Fumble by Amon Green, 7 yards, 2nd down and 3 now. Amon Green did have some fumble problems while he was in the NFL, but he had a nice career with the Packers. Mainly with the Packers. 2nd and 3 from the Ohio State 44. Makovica on the run. Makovica gets the 1st down and a few more yards. Tackle by Antoine Winfield. 7-yard gain. Fake handoff to Amon Green. Hold on. Beautiful flake by Frazier. It's medium short pass to Clester Johnson. Caught by Jensen at the 30. Tackled at the 28, pick up 9 yards, 2nd and 1. Nice 1st down play for the Huskers. Handoff to Amon Green. Run out of bounds after 4 yards, 1st down. First and 10 from the Ohio State 24. Frazier gets the snap. Fake to hand off to Amon Green. Under duress, he pulls down, takes off. Frazier gets outside the defense. They can't bring him down until he gains 11 yards and another Nebraska 1st down. Florida is pounding Notre Dame 35-10. Dorian gets another touchdown from Danny Werfel. 9:08 to go in the 3rd. Nebraska moving the ball. 1st and 10. Ohio State 13. The running back is Amon Green. The fullback is Jeff Makovica. First and 10 from Ohio State 13. Gilman's being double covered. Frazier tosses the ball at the green on the option. He follows pulling left guard outside for a gain of 6. Second down, 4 yards to go from the Ohio State 7-yard line. Green gets the handoff, managed 6 yards and brought down by Damon Moore at the 1-yard line. First and goal at the 1. 8:07 to go. And up to Jeff Makovica. No gain. Second and goal from the 1. Schuster's in at fullback. Frazier hands off to Amon Green. Finds a hole. Touchdown, Nebraska. (29-14) Nebraska. Chris Brown in to attempt the extra point, and it's good. 30-14. 16-point lead for the Huskers with 7:21 to go in the third quarter. Sean Springs back to receive the kick. Peppy Pearson all along back with him, and there's the kick. Touchback. Brown got all of that one. First and 10 from their own 20. 8 men in the box for Nebraska. Hoyne is taking his usual drop. Looks for Eddie George on a little circle path. Caught by George at the 24. Tackled by Tony Veland, former quarterback, at the 31. Nice gain of 11 yards on first down for the Buckeyes. First and 10 from the 31. Safety blitz called by the Huskers. Play fake to George. Hoyne is under pressure of the blitz. Brought down on the backfield by Grant Wistrom for a 9-yard loss. Another sack for Grant Wistrom in this playoff. That's his third sack of the playoffs. Second and 19 from the 22. I'm going to play standard zone. Bringing an extra defensive back. Play fake to George. Medium long pass to Demetrius Stanley. Stanley makes the catch at the 35. Hauled down at the 38 after gaining 16. It's 3rd and 3. It's 14-9 Northwestern over Colorado. 5 minutes to go in the third quarter. Third and about 3. Nebraska has 8 men in the box. Hoyne sets up in the pocket. He's going to pass. Circles to the outside. Hauled in by George at the 45. That's enough for the first down. Pushed out of bounds by Jay Foreman after a gain of 7. First and 10 from the Ohio State 45-yard line. Hand off to Eddie George. Just notice play action. Nebraska's on a all-out blitz. Medium long to Buster Tillman. Ball's tipped at the air at the Nebraska 35, and Phil Ellis has the interception. Quickly hemmed in after 8 yards. Great defensive play by the Huskers. Another turnover by Ohio State. Lawrence Phillips in the backfield. Option. Phillips looks to go outside. He's dragged down by Luke Fickle. Now the coach of the Cincinnati Bearcats after getting 3 yards. Left with second down and 7. Virginia Tech leads Florida State 24-2. Andre Cooper has 6 catches today. That's an upset, ladies and gentlemen. Inside run for the Lawrence Phillips. Breaks free. Brought down at the 45-yard line of Ohio State. 9-yard run by Lawrence Phillips. Trap play to Brian Schuster, runs straight ahead, picks up 4 yards on first down. 2nd down and 6. Northwestern now up 21-9 after a Darnell Autry 10-yard run. Florida now leading Notre Dame 35-10. Werfel has gone over 300 yards. 2nd down and 6 for Nebraska. Frazier's being key for the run. Fake handoff to Phillips. Beautiful fake. Frazier throws a medium pass to Holbein. Grabbed at Holbein at the 24. He dodges the first defender. Isn't brought down to the gains 30 yards. Nice tackle by Sean Springs to save the touchdown at the 11-yard line. First and 10. Frazier's under heavy pressure. The pass. It's screened to Holbein. The pass is deflected. The line of scrimmage falls out of reach of Matt Bonhouse. Makes it 2nd down and 10 yards to go at the Ohio State 11-yard line. Phillips gets a pitch on the option play. Phillips heads towards the sideline where there's no room to run, but he gets a touchdown anyways. He somehow squirted through and got the touchdown. Lawrence Phillips, the late Lawrence Phillips, 11-yard touchdown run. Having a decent day there for 9 carries for 53 yards. Nebraska now leads 36-14. And Brown's in for the extra point. And we're getting ready to kick off. Demetrius Stanley and Pepe Pearson back to receive the kick from Chris Brown. Stanley takes it at the 5, cuts to his right, but is nailed at the 17 after picking up just 12 yards on the return. More great kick coverage by the Huskers. First and 10 from their own 17-yard line. Hoyne doesn't have a lot of time. He elects to run. Is forced outside. Now he has running room upfield. Makes a nice run of 19 yards. Tripped up by Michael Booker, number 20. First and 10 from the 36. Nebraska shows blitz. Here comes Phil Ellips. Hoyne sets up to pass. Dudley running a square out. Beautiful thrown by Hoyne. Easily caught by Dudley at the 46. Pushed out of bounds after gaining 10 yards on the first down. Ike Hilliard gets another touchdown from Danny Werfel. It's 42-10 still in the third quarter. My goodness. First and 10 from the 46 for Ohio State. Farley's blitzing. They're going to throw. Buster Tillman is running a square out. Tillman makes the catch at Nebraska's 44 and steps out of bounds. Foreman knocks him out of bounds at the 44 after completion of 10 yards. He might not have caught that one in bounds. Play under review. They ruled they had it. Completion is for 10 yards. That's a very good spot. The chains are out. Here comes a signal. They're measuring. And it's a first down. First and 10 from the Nebraska 44. Luther Harden coming in on a blitz. Hoyne is under pressure. Blindsided by Luther Harden in midfield. Fumble! Recovered by Bobby Hoyne for Ohio State at midfield. Hoyne was sacked for 6 yards, but he gets his own fumble. Nice play by Luther Harden. Second down, 16 yards to go. Colorado kicks a field goal, and it's 21-12 near the end of the third quarter. Second and 16 at midfield. Play action pass. Hoying is being pressured up the middle. Sacked by Christian Peter for a 5-yard loss. They'll need 21 yards on third down. Way to go, Christian Peter. Did a great Ric Flair impression back in the day. 37-14, that's the end of the third quarter. Let's take a look at the statistics after 3 quarters. Ohio State 313 yards of offense, averaging 5.2 yards a play. And Nebraska has 344, averaging 7 yards a play. 227 rushing, 117 passing. Frazier 7 for 12 for 117. Green 63, Phillips 53, Frazier 60, Makovica 39. And what's it like for them? George has 49 yards, Hoying 26. Glenn did not have one single catch that quarter after having 5 for 89 at the half. So let's get back to it. Third down, 21 yards to go for Ohio State. Going to play a deep zone. Nebraska's blanketed the field with an extra defensive back. There's pressure from the edge on Hoying. He's forced to run, knocked out of bounds after gaining a couple of yards. 4th and 19. Mike Fulman will be back to receive the kick. Nebraska holds on third down. Bartholomew drops back. No pressure on the rush. It's not a good punt. Out of bounds of the 21. 32 yards net on the play. And they're keying on Phillips. Play action pass. Sideline pattern to Kenny Cheatham. Grabbed it by Cheatham at the 25, stepping out of bounds after 7 yards. Nice first down play for the Nebraska Cornhuskers. 2nd and 3 from their own 28. Phillips and Schuster are the I-backs. Hand off to Phillips. Stuffed behind the line. Great anticipation by Luke Fickle. Looks like it's 3rd and a long 6. We're going to take Schuster out of the game and bring in another wide receiver. And defense is playing for the pass. Draw play to Lawrence Phillips. Explodes up the middle. Makes a nice run for 12 yards. Anthony Gwynn comes up stopping Lawrence Phillips, but not before he gets the first down. Now at the Nebraska 37, 12:55 to go in the fourth quarter. Nebraska with a nice lead. Lawrence Phillips will go out of the game because he appears to be tired. Joel Makovica will make his first appearance. Mark Gilman comes in the game. And 1st and 10 from their own 37. Keying on Frazier, but Makovica gets the handoff. He's hit hard but breaks the tackle. Now he has some running room. They can't bring him down until he's gained 9 yards. Nice run on first down by Joel Makovica. Second and 1 from their own 46. State's guess and run. Play action to Green. Medium pass to Reggie Ball. Frazier and Ball weren't on the same page on the pass incomplete. 3rd and inches. Third and about a yard to go. Makovica and Green are the running backs. And handoff to Makovica. He's quickly met at the line of scrimmage. Breaks the tackle, then loses the ball. Recovered by Amon Green, and Green has open field ahead over the 40, 30, 20, into the end zone, touchdown Nebraska. Seven yards to Makovica, and the rest goes to Amon Green. He's got over 100 yards again. 43-14, Nebraska leads. On its way in, it's good. 44-14. I'm thinking that's probably all we're going to see of Tommy Frazier today. Bringing reserves up to this. Brown kicks off. Springs takes it at the 5. Big stuff, special teams. He gets 4 yards on that return. My goodness, what a hit on that play. Couldn't really see who got that, but first and 10 from their 9. Pepe Pearson, the running back. Glenn, Miller, and Carter are the receivers. Pearson makes the first tackler miss, picks up 5 yards. Second down and 5 for Ohio State. Nebraska did not expect the run. Hand off to Eddie George. Nope, it's a play action. Nice fake. Medium long out pattern to Terry Gwynn. Incomplete. They'll need 5 yards on third down. Nebraska sniffed that one out pretty good. John Cooper's the head coach of Ohio State back then. Third down and 5. From the 14, man-to-man coverage by Nebraska. Terrell Farley, number 43, is blitzing. Drops back into the pocket. Short pass to Dwayne Carter. Carter makes the grab at the 20. That should be enough for the first down. Hauled on by Michael Booker at the 23. Gain of 9 yards for Ohio State to keep the chains moving. First and 10 at the 23. George and Calhoun are the backs. Terry Glenn and Buster Tillman the receivers. Here comes Terrell Farley on the blitz. Ricky Dudley is intended receiver on a meaning pass and catches it at the 34, but he loses some ground avoiding the tackle and nailed by Jay Foreman at the 32. And a fumble! Heads up play by Eric Stokes. Recovered by Eric Stokes, and another turnover for Florida State. Now we're going to bring Tommy Frazier, bring in Brooke Behringer, the late Brooke Behringer, who was set to be like a 4th-round pick in the NFL. Passed away due to a plane crash after his senior year. And we're going to bring in Damon Benning. Joe Makovica will stay in the game. First and 10 from the Ohio State 32. Hand off to Damon Benning. Good push by the offensive line. Benning gains 5 yards. And 9 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Northwestern leads Colorado for 21-12. Second down and 5 yards to go. Makovica gets the handoff. He's in the clear. Gains 10 yards before he caught it at the 17. Florida, 42-10 with about 9 minutes left to go in the fourth. Just destroying Notre Dame today. First and 10 from the 17. Behringer keeps the ball on the option. Finds a hole outside. Dragged out of bounds at the 11 after 6 yards. Darnell Autry has just scored for Northwestern. Now they're leading 28-12. Second down and 4 yards to go. Clinton Childs and Makovica are the backs. Reggie Ball and Holbein. Pitch to Childs, escapes a crowded defender, bounces outside for 5 yards. It's first and goal at the 6-yard line. Buckeyes have 8 men in the box. Run key on Makovica. They're going to throw. Behringer under heavy pressure. Screen to Gilman. Complete to Gilman. He knocked Gilman out of bounds for a 1-yard loss. Not a great play. Not for Nebraska, that is. Second down and goal from the Ohio State 7-yard line. Flag on the play. False start, Nebraska. And it's going to be second and goal from the 12. Behringer sets up in the pocket. Holbein is the intended receiver on a quick toss. Holbein has it at the 10. No one's going to get near him. Touchdown, Brendan Holbein from Brooke Behringer. Nebraska is just destroying Ohio State today. Whoa, flag on the play. It's coming down. Coming back. Oh, no, it's after the touchdown. Excessive celebration. There's a 15-yard penalty. The play will stand and the penalty will be assessed on the kickoff. $50-14, extra point by Chris Brown, and it's good. Chris Brown kicks off, taken by Sean Spring at the 9, 12-yard return. And Autry Denson scored for Notre Dame to bring him within 42-17 with about 7.5 minutes to go in that game. Florida State's got that well in hand. And off to Jermon Jackson. Jackson surrounded as he tries to head upfield, manages a small gain of 3 yards, 2nd and 7. Can thank Mal Calhoun for that yardage gain on that run, which wasn't much, but he can thank him anyways. Standard man-to-man coverage by Nebraska. Safety blitz. Eddie George has the ball. George pushes ahead for a gain of 1 yard. 3rd and 6 at the Ohio State 25. Eddie George is the lone setback, and Glenn and Buster Tillman and D. Miller the receivers. Ricky Dudley is the tight end. Third and 6 from the 25. Tight coverage. Coleman's being sent on the blitz. Glenn is intended receivers on a medium pass. Is well covered by Tyrone Williams, but he threads the needle. Glenn has it at the 35 and goes down after 10 yards. Great coverage by Tyrone Williams, but not good enough. Bobby Hoyne makes a great pass. First down, Ohio State. Tight coverage by the defensive backs. Here comes Farley. Moves back into the pocket. George circles the outside. Passes a little low. George comes up with it at the 41. Steps out of bounds after gaining 7 yards. 2nd down and 3 yards to go. Farley's on the blitz again. Give to Jermon Jackson. Up the middle for 1 yard. It's 3rd and 2. Flag on the play. False start. Ohio State. And it's 3rd and 7 from their own 38-yard line. George will be the lone running back. Glenn Miller and Carter, the receivers. Ricky Dudley is the tight end. Tight coverage. Nebraska shows blitz. Here comes Mike Rucker. Medium short sideline pattern to Ricky Dudley. Velens reaches around and tips the ball away. It's 4th and 7. Bartholomew's in to kick. Nebraska's going for the return. There's no rush. The punt is on its way. It's a high punt. Caught by Reggie Ball at the 16. There's nowhere to go, but he slices between 2 defenders, picks up 8 yards. Nice return to get something out of nothing. And Nebraska will have their ball on the own 24-yard line. Clinton Childs and Joel Mecca. We're going to bring in Brian Schuster. Clinton Childs and Brian Schuster in the backfield. Behringer's looking at double coverage on Holbein. It's a run by Clinton Childs. He runs behind the big hog molly Chris Dishman and picks up 7 yards. 4 minutes left to go in that game, and Florida's got that well in hand. 2nd down and 3 yards to go. Keen on Behringer for the run play. Defender caught in the middle. The ball goes to trailing back. He needs the short side of the field and only picks up 3 yards. First down, Nebraska. That's all he needed to pick up. First and 10 from their own 34. They're doubled up on ball. James Sims is the ball carrier, number 31. Makes a nice gain of 7 yards before tackle of Rodell Dupree. 3:08 left in the game. Northwestern 28-12. Matt Hartle has 6 catches. And Notre Dame scored 42-24. Ohio State's expecting a pass. I don't know why. They're down by 37. Behringer rolls out on the option and is going to run this one himself. Picks up 5 yards, 1st and 10, 2:43 to go in the game if they don't call a timeout. And Autry gets another touchdown to make it 35-12 Northwestern. First and 10 from their own 46. Schuster has the ball. Finds an opening. Closed quickly by Kevin Johnson and has held this a nice 7-yard gain, 2nd and 3 for Nebraska. Eight men in the box. They're keying on Schuster again, but Sims gets the ball. Sims runs into a logjam near the sideline, but finds his way for 7 yards. Nice run by James Sims. And that one's almost over. 1:15 to go in that game. 42-24. Bring in Damon Benning again. Bump and run coverage for the Buckeyes, but they're not going to pass. Benning gets the handoff. Benning goes wide for 4 yards. It's 2nd and 6. 1:13 to go. Second and 6 from the Ohio State 36. They're looking for Benning to run, but they give it to Makovica right behind Chris Dishman for just 3 yards. 3 yards short, and it's 3rd down and 3. Ohio State's expecting the run, as they should. They're expecting Benning to get the handoff, but Behringer fakes the pitch and keeps the ball on the option. Good pursuit by Sean Springs as it gets to him near the sidelines after a gain of 5 yards. 1st and 10, Nebraska. Moving the ball again at the Ohio State 28-yard line. Ohio State expecting a pass. Why? Damon Benning gets the handoff and picks up 7 yards, and that's probably going to do it. And the game is over. Shootout at Memorial Stadium. Nebraska wins 51-14 and advances to the Final Four. Green has been voted today's most valuable player with 110 yards rushing and 3 touchdowns. And look at the total numbers for the day. Ohio State had 360 yards of offense. Nebraska 515. Nebraska 380 running the ball. 5 turnovers for Ohio State and none for Nebraska. And look at the average starting position, 42-19 for Nebraska. So that's why Nebraska won this game fairly handily. And we'll go into the box score. Ohio State only scored in the second quarter. Nebraska was pretty consistent all day long. Hoying did throw for 261, but 3 interceptions. George managed just 50 yards on 13 carries. Terry Glenn had 99 yards on 6 receptions. Frazier, a nice solid game, 8 for 14 for 124. Green, 110 yards. Phillips 62. Those guys combined for 24 carries for 172 yards and 5 touchdowns. Frazier got 60 on the ground. Makovica 39. The other Makovica 29. They got 87 yards from the fullbacks. Benning, Behringer, Childs all contributed. Brendan Holbein 3 catches for 48 yards, led him in receiving. And let's go to the defensive side of the ball. Warfield and Harden were the ones that got the sacks. I think Grant Wistrom got one also. Farley had 8 tackles, total tackles. Special teams, not much going there. Only 1 punt for Nebraska. And defensively, 11 tackles for Miller. 9 for 13 on third downs. Nebraska's not stopping people on third down for some reason. They were 6 for 8 on themselves. So we got to do a better job of stopping them on third down. But that's all for this game. Thanks for listening. Close that out. And here's a final score. Northwestern defeated Colorado 35-12. Dominant performance by Northwestern Wildcats. Probably their best team I've ever seen for them to have. Schnurr, 15 for 26, 180. Autry had 133 yards on a workhorse effort of 34 carries. Herschel Trotman just got 40 yards and 261. 335 in total yards for the teams. Third downs, Colorado just 3 of 12. So that was a decent game. 9 seconds to go in the game. Florida State 28, Virginia Tech 24. That game's about over. And Florida leads 42-24 over Notre Dame, so it looks like those guys are going to advance. And their final, Florida State pulls off the Danny Cannell, 261 passing, couple touchdowns. Let's look at the box score. Drunken Miller, 189 passing, work done. 58 yards rushing, Cooper 88 receiving, E.G. Green 79, still at 78. So let's look at the total stats. Virginia Tech 355 yards, pretty evenly matched, 348 for Florida State. We'll close that one out. And go to the Notre Dame-Florida game, which was a blowout. Team statistics. Notre Dame had 290, 528 for Florida. Offensively, Ron Polis did not play very well. Only had 82 yards, and Krug came in to get 77. For Florida, Danny Werfel, 5 touchdown passes, 324 yards, and an interception. Jackson, 66 rushing. Williams, 62. Hilliard had a big game, 165 yards. Dorian had 2 touchdowns with 41 yards. So overall, Florida's playing pretty darn good in the playoffs. Defensively, Church and Moten had sacks. Minor and Rasmanis. All right, we'll close that one out. And that's it for So Florida State's going to be number 4. Florida State's going to be at Nebraska, number 1. So the seeds are panning out right now. The preview is Nebraska's a 22-point favorite at home. And Northwestern will be playing Florida. And Florida's a 7-point favorite. So we will see. Northwestern's won their games 27-20, 35-12, and Florida 24-21. And let's do the preview on Nebraska's game again. Now it's changed. 19-point favorite. Nebraska 41-27, 51-14 winners. Look at the offense for Florida State.